Drop a like if you know what I mean. I hope you're doing all right. But if you're not, that's all right. Oh, it's really good coffee. Nah, but I hope you guys are having a good day, man. It's a beautiful day here. There's some snow on the ground and all that. But I'm not really here to talk about weather. I'm here to talk to you guys. Star, I haven't seen you in a while, man. 100 XP for joining the stream. Drop a like if you know what I mean. We're gonna do some Q&A. We're gonna do some polls. We're gonna do some chilling. We're gonna do some talking. We're gonna do some drinking coffee. We're gonna do all of these things. So if you're just joining now, you're a real OG. Because you're here before everybody else. But if you're late, it's all right. I'll hate on you later. Oh, this is so good. I want to drink this all immediately right now. Barre. I'm gonna have 2 drinks. Coffee and water, you gotta balance them out. First question of the day is going to be, what is your biggest dream? And this could be like career, this could be just like a moment that you want to have, and it could be whatever. But I am curious what to know for you guys. What is your biggest dream? And we'll stick that up here. Let me stick that up here. Bam. We'll stick that right above the moon nights. But I am curious to know. Feel free to answer that, because I'm curious to know what your guys' biggest dreams are. Because dreams are important, you know. Understanding what it is you want to do or would like to do can kind of help you get down to the core of who you are. You can kind of understand a little bit more about yourself when you start to ask yourself questions like, man, what do I want to do? Like, really, with no restrictions. Because look at it this way. All too often, when we talk and when we think, we actually consciously and unconsciously put very, I guess some could argue, realistic restrictions on our dreams and our abilities and what we can do. And, you know, a lot of those are in place to kind of protect people from financial fallout or embarrassment or whatever it is. I think in a lot of ways, people crave safety. You know, they crave stability. They crave comfort. But when you dare to dream, and you dare to not only dream, but carve a path for it, because anybody who has actually dreamt can tell you something. And it's that there is actually a process that they call lucid dreaming, right? Where you're actually, thank you for the compliment, I appreciate that. Cool Pearsons, thank you. At a certain point, there's something called lucid dreaming. And when you're lucid dreaming, you have the ability to kind of like consciously move through the dream. 100 XP for joining the stream. Drop a like if you know what I mean. But if you're lucid dreaming, you're consciously moving through the dream. So if you have a dream, what up, homie? If you have a dream, You have to ask yourself at some point, would you like to become lucid? Because once you become lucid about your own dreams, like what you want to do with your life, the dream doesn't happen to you. You make the dream happen, right? So the thing is, if you have something that it is that you want to do, and you're saying, man, this is a dream of mine. This is something that, I would like to accomplish. The question would be, how would I become lucid in doing that? Like, you can say these words, but then how do you apply them? What do they mean? Pay attention. So check this out. Let's say you tell yourself you want to be a content creator. You're like, oh, hey, I see all these people making content. I want to make content. That's my dream. And that's what you tell yourself. Pay attention. Check this out. If that's your dream, the way that you would become lucid is by doing that once a day, every day. And you do it once a day, every day for 30 minutes, an hour, however much time you have. And eventually, that little dream that you have turns into a reality because you decided to bring a thought or an imagination. What up? I hope you're having a good day. We talking about dreams. I'm asking people what their biggest dream is. For me, it's to build kind of a production company, kind of almost like Adam Sandler, where he has Happy Gilmore, Happy Gilmore Productions, and he's always able to work with his friends and kind of make movies and TV shows and all that stuff. So that's my dream, and I'm on the way there. I'm in the process of actually writing movies and series and all this stuff, like starting all this stuff. Like I'm doing it. I am living this. So would love to know what you guys are dreaming of. What's your dream? What is it that makes you, when you think of it, like go, oh man, I'd love to do that? Because you can very easily go from thinking it to doing it. Pay attention. Because you guys realize that a lot of time we spend so much time on our phone. I mean, some of you are literally on your phone right now watching me. I see you watching me on your phone right there, okay? No, but okay, let's see. So let's take this for instance. We got Melanie saying, my biggest dream would be either becoming an actor or singing. Let's take Melanie for example. I don't mean to call you out, but I really do want to use this as an example to hopefully encourage somebody. Pay attention. So, let's say I'm Melanie. I want to become an actor or singer. Here's the reality. If I really wanted to do that, what I could do is say, hey, okay, it is January, February, March. Let's say starting in April, I take all of March to study all the closest places where they have either, and you have to ask yourself, I would actually start with this. I would write down what are my favorite type of movies? What movies inspire me? If I were you, this is what I would do. I would immediately find what's the one person that I would want to emulate or be like, right? I would look at pay attention. I would look at one person and be like, what is that who's the person that inspires me the most that I would like to be like in this particular field? So let's say you said acting or singing. And let's say I'm you and I'm like, man, I would like to be the next Cary Grant. Cary Grant's OG. If you don't know who he is, look him up. Pay attention. So this is what I would do. I would write down, I want to be like a funny Cary Grant, like an improv Cary Grant, then I would look up for all of March, all of the closest places that do improv, or all of the closest places that do like acting classes or anything. I would do all of March to look that up, right? And then starting in April, I would commit to, okay, I'm gonna do one class a month. And then as I do that one class a month, I'm also going to, Kieran, what's up, man? 100 XP for joining the stream. I just scared myself because I stepped on a brush. But it's all good because now I can brush my lush hair right here in front of you guys on stream. Yeah, that's right. And my beard. Yeah, that's right. But we're talking about dreams, and I'm asking people what their biggest dream is. Pay attention, because for me, my biggest dream, I'm living it right now, and I'm in the process of making it happen. In terms of retiring my wifey, in terms of making a production company with me and my friends, kind of like in terms of becoming the next Adam Sandler kind of thing. You know, in terms of doing what I want creatively. So I'm living this right now, and I would like to help people get into that process. So I'm asking people what their dreams are. So here's the idea. Pay attention. Let's go back to Melanie. Melanie said, I want to be an actor or singer. If I was Melanie, an actor or singer first, I look at the person in that field that I want to be like. Right? Moon Sandler is a crazy name, and I'll accept it. Moon Sandler, all right, okay, all right. No, okay, all right. Anyways, pay attention. Don't make me have to send you to the principal's office. All right? Hey, hey, hey. Pay attention. So if I'm Melanie, I want to be an actor or singer, I'm going to look at, you have to pick one person in that field. Listen, all right, you know what? No, you know what? All right, somebody in the back of the class isn't paying attention right now. Someone in the back of the class is not paying attention. I'll wait. Hold on. I'll wait. All right. You guys made me have to do it. We're only doing the classical music now because you guys can't pay attention. We were going to do the dream wave. But now, you see, we got Beethoven up in here. Okay, it's going to help you. It's going to help you focus. All right, if I catch you falling asleep, there's going to be a quiz on this. If you fail that, you're out of this class. All right? So check this out, okay? And everybody, I hope everybody's paying attention. Daniel, let's see what you got. Daniel says, my biggest dream, I like to run with 3 grandkids. You're 45 last year. You had 2 heart attacks, lung failure, brain damage, and had to learn to walk again. Want to play baseball with them as they grow up. Everybody pay attention. I want everybody to pay attention. Hey, everybody pay attention. What Daniel just said is extremely important. Your dream oftentimes does not have to be this big, grandiose thing, okay? It can be as big or as small as you want, because sometimes the quote-unquote small dreams are really the big ones. Because like for me, I don't have any dreams about fame or riches. I just have dreams about being able to live a long, beautiful life with the people I love. That's really what that is. And Daniel, I love what you shared. Appreciate you sharing that. Glad to hear that you're surviving that. First of all, absolute gangster for being able to get through 2 heart attacks, lung failure, brain damage, and having to learn to walk again. So we are extremely honored not only to meet you, my friend, but to have you typing here in this chat. So let's give some W's and big ups to our friend Daniel Morton, because that is actually incredible. So God bless you, sir. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I genuinely do hope and pray that you do get to be able to play baseball. And you know what? We're going to say that you are. We're going to go ahead and just put that energy out there that you are going to be able to do that. Because you're a gangster for being able to do that. That's real superhero shit, my friend. Kudos to you, man. But let's get back to it. So we're talking about, I want to give you the real blueprint, because I know some people are like, God damn it, moonkid, I want to figure this out. I want to do this. I want to be able to do the thing that I need to do. All right, then. Pay attention. Then pay attention. You're slacking off. Okay, I see you slacking off. You're fidgeting over there. You're stimming. Okay, enough stimming. Enough. Okay, I'm the stem now. Just call me Dr. Stem, okay? Because if you don't pay attention in this class, there's gonna be a 6-hour quiz, and if you don't pass it in the first hour, okay, there's gonna be 10 more quizzes. All right. I'm sorry. I haven't finished my coffee. I'm sorry. It's how I get when I'm only halfway through. Halfway through the cup is more aggressive than a fourth of the cup. But anyways, pay attention. Allow me to continue. So when you are someone who is a creative and you are trying to accomplish a dream, there actually is a blueprint. There actually is a blueprint for that. And I'm gonna tell you what the blueprint is. As a creative, it is your unspoken, dutiful expectation and agreement to choose a legend to stand on the shoulders of. Every single great creative knows that our time here is short. Pay attention. Our time here is short. Therefore, we are each sparks of the same flame passed on from generation to generation. So this means that certain sparks can inspire you, certain sparks are not. Pay attention. Certain sparks are going to actually set off a spark in your heart creatively so that you can continue that fire. Pay attention. So if you are someone who is creative, the first step in the blueprint of becoming successful as a creative is to find the other creative that you find the most syncopation with, that you find the most relation to, that you find the most similarities with, that you see and you're like, man, that's me, or I feel like they kind of speak for me. Pay attention. So the first step, again, we're gonna run by it again. I'm gonna need to get a whiteboard for y'all. All right. First step in accomplishing your dream as a creative is you choose. Pay attention. Stop gooning. You choose the other person that you can look up to, and in the process of doing that, second step, Karen, you can kick out whoever you would like. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, Daniel Morton, in all seriousness, thank you for joining today. You know, God bless you, man. You shared a really awesome part of your journey, and I hope you have a fantastic day, man. All the best to you, for real. But, all right, pay attention. So, first step in succeeding as a creative is to stand on the shoulders of someone creatively that you look up to. The second part, finding your own style. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. No, and I'm not kidding. But the thing is in the process of doing that, it's totally okay to copy someone else. Most people won't tell you this. It's okay to try to sound like someone else in the beginning because you're finding your own style. So step 1, look up to someone, stand on their shoulders of the greats. Step 2, find your own style. You will find your own style when you're confident enough to copy someone else. Pay attention. You will find your own style when you're confident enough to copy someone else. Pay attention. Because if it is your dream to be in the place of someone that you look up to, you have to have the confidence, the faculty, and the permission to say, I'm going to try to imitate them. I'm going to try to be like them. And then you do that. And then in the process of doing that, you actually kind of find yourself. Because you've given yourself what? The permission to go beyond, right? So in this process, you start to actually learn the habit of lucidly accomplishing whatever this is, whatever your biggest dream is. Pay attention. So the idea is, our friend Melanie said they wanted to be an actor or a singer. You look up to whatever actor or singer that you really love first. You start emulating them. You cover their songs. And then you'll find inspiration of your own to make your own songs. And then you'll even find your own voice. And then you could even possibly find your own gigs, find your own network, find your own publishing company, find your own whatever. Get signed, whatever it is. There's a path to every dream. It's just a matter of whether or not you, pay attention, are willing to accomplish that. Because if you, pay attention, if you are not willing to accomplish that, then it's on you to keep watching other people accomplishing theirs. So here's the thing. Your dreams can be simple, and that's okay. I actually encourage you to keep your dreams simple. Because the truth is, and I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of people won't tell you this, but Uncle Moonkid will tell you this, okay? You're better off keeping your dreams simple because a lot of you don't have what it takes to actually make it. But there's a select few who know and feel the call, feel the spark of creativity, the call of adventure, the call of some would call insanity, to accomplish what those who dared to do so before have accomplished through the act of very risky creative decisions. My dream is that if I do get to grow old, that I get to do it with all of my loved ones and those who I hold dearly. To use my creativity and my faculties to make others laugh, to make my family live comfortably. And I want to die in a way that leaves the world in a better place than I found it. Or my dream is to at least allow people to give everybody, including first and foremost people I love, the permission to be themselves and the permission to see the world and their life as beautiful as it really is. I guess that's my long-winded answer. But it is pretty simple, you know? No fame, riches, nothing like that. I mean, if that's part of it, you know, hey, whatever. But mostly it's to see my family and loved ones in a good place and, you know, to see people happy, to make people laugh, man. There's a lot of concern that people have, and I like to see people free from that concern. But anyways, realistically, when you're a creative person and you say, I want to do this, you know, I want to, let's say you're like me when I was a teenager, like, man, I want to be a rock star. Although realistically, when I was a teenager, I did want to make movies, but then at a certain point I switched and I was like, I want to be a rock star. And I put down the movie thing, but then I picked up the movie thing in my late 20s because I realized everything was a lie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a little dark. Let me rewind on that a little bit. The reality is, you can have an idea of what you want to do creatively, but realize this. My biggest advice to you is to understand that no matter what this is, that it's not so much about getting here as it is about who's there when you get there. And that's you included. You know, hey, pay attention. Listen. This can always be accomplished, but time cannot be bought back. I'll tell you that. But to anybody, I'm about to do wide stance. That's when you know I'm really like dead ass. But to anybody oh, that's such good coffee. To anybody who truly is trying to pay attention. To anybody who is trying to truly accomplish a dream, kudos to you. Because that's just not easy. That shit is difficult. But just remember who you are in the process of that. You know what I mean? It's easy to get lost and wrapped up in like the process. You know, when you're doing stuff, you get kind of like swept away in ambition. But for me, it's something that I've kind of been very careful about. I kind of have to like watch my ambition, you know. Like I monitor that shit like a scientist with like blood levels and cholesterol and stuff, or a doctor or whatever, whoever does that. I don't know. I don't know geography, but um, I feel like it's good for every creative to kind of monitor their ambition every once in a while, just to always kind of like check yourself. Like Ice Cube really was right. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because for me, it's like I think ambition is a very good thing, but it also is kind of like a drug that, if taken too often, can be a deterrent to the truth. Like, for instance, let me give an example. Let's say you really want to be rich, and then like in the pursuit of that, you like skip out on years of life with your family, and then like they all die, and then like you got a bunch of money at the end. So like your ambition got you where you wanted to go, but it didn't give you what you really needed. So that's what I'm talking about. Is like ambition sometimes you got to like check it at the door sometimes and be like, all right, let me, you know what I'm saying? What up, buddy? What up, man? Cheers, man. Bro says sing a song. We in class right now. Get your notebook. We ain't singing no songs unless it's the song of you paying attention. Which we're talking about dreams here. We're asking everybody what the dream is. Talking about dreams, how to accomplish them, how to monitor them, how to monitor ambition. We're getting deep here, you know? You're good, man. You're good. You're good. But pay attention. Pay attention. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right. So, if that is indeed your dream, then all you have to do is put a little sticky note on your mirror, and you'll be good. Or you could just tattoo it on your forehead, and you'll be golden. But you have to do it backwards so that when you look in the mirror, you see it. I think that would probably be the most logical thing to do. Got a little back problem. I hope y'all don't mind if I just. Okay, yep, I'm good. All right, sorry. You want to become an engineer. All right, everyone pay attention. This right here is a noble gamer. Engineer. Solid choice. Now listen, guys. It is absolutely noble to have a desire to do something when you're talking about a dream. Something like being an engineer, something like being a doctor, something like being a lawyer. Someone could even be like, yo, I want to be a plumber. That's solid. You want to know what? The key to enjoying life is taking anything, pay attention, anything, and being like, I'm going to get stupid good at this. You spend 10,000 hours, you become a master at whatever that thing is. You do that thing until your brain tells you, I don't really want to do that thing anymore. And then you pay attention. Then you give yourself the permission to go and get good at something else. Literally, excuse me. The philosophy is just get good. Just get good at something. Anything. Whatever makes you be like, hell yeah. Like some people be like, yo, like I just love, educating people on paint and like the different, styles of paint, different shades of paint, different tastes of paint. You know what I'm saying? Different smells of pain. And like that just gets them going. Yes. That's what you got to do. You got to just give yourself the permission to get really psyched out about one thing at a time. You know what I mean? Because you get psyched out. Hey, 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 thank you. I love you too, random citizen. I appreciate it. And welcome to the classroom. Please take a seat. We are in session. This is the subject for today. I expect a 365,000 word essay by the end of the session. Please take a seat, Anthony. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like you're already on the seat. As long as you are able to read the notes, Anthony, you're all good. So this is the concept we're talking about. We're talking about dreams, all right? Doesn't have to be crazy. And like we were just saying, who read the homework last night? Who read the homework? I know that you. Okay. You're telling me you forgot. Okay, that's fine. Charles Bukowski, to everybody who missed the homework last night. Charles Bukowski, style. Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. Style is what we call art. Nobody did the homework last night? Nobody did the reading? Just me? Okay. All right. Pay attention. There's going to be a quiz on this. Listen. A lot of you lack the permission to accomplish your dreams, not because you lack the resources, but because you lack the conviction to realize that you require a world where this happens. You can't just allow everything to kind of be sometimes. Sometimes you have to carve a way towards this. And that's the only way. Sometimes that is the only way. Because if you do anything else, you're just going to feel, you're going to drown. You're going to drown in a world that doesn't care. Most people don't care. And for the majority of people who live for the applause of others or the approval of others, please realize, pay attention, I'm talking to you. Please realize they don't care. Even if you are a subject of conversation for a day, whoa, that guy was crazy. I promise you, most people won't remember you by the next meal they have. So it is okay to try things, to be weird, to be creative, to start a business, to go after this thing. Pay attention. To go after this thing, because you got about 7 decades max to figure this out. And most of you, maybe less. So just try, you know what it is? You know what it is? Pay attention. You know what it is? We've stopped writing things down. Hold on, I need to go talk to my hot assistant. Hold on. Honey! I need another cup of coffee. You're my hot assistant, honey.
Barista.
My hot barista.
Same.
Yes, please. Thank you, honey. All right, so listen. We've stopped writing things down. And I think that because of this, since we're not writing things down, we're out of the habit of, excuse me, this needs to be more realistic. We're out of the habit of doing this, and we're doing more of this. So we have to start writing things down, gamers. We need to start writing things down, because if you just, and I'm not saying don't look at your phone. We're in a new age. Your phone is now an appendage. It is now a part of your body. That's fine. I get it. But just at least take an afternoon or something to write down, like a little project, questions and answers about yourself. What do I want to do? What is something that I like doing that I enjoy? What is something that I would do for free that I enjoy, but would also be kind of cool if I got paid for? What is something I dreamed about as a child that I've kind of forgotten about? And then you just kind of write it out. There's no right or wrong answer. Nobody's grading you, except for me though. I will be quizzing you at the end of this. Nobody's grading you, and you just answer those questions super honestly, and you kind of just reflect. You guys remember back when we did the Ghost of Tsushima game? My favorite mini game in there was when they would do the haiku reflections. We would have like these crazy battles, fight all these dudes, like do like the hey, and then like we would go and like sit on this like mountaintop with these beautiful flowers and like come up with a poem that reflected how the character felt. That's like really important to like come up, thank you.
I've got a latte ready.
Thank you, honey.
For Mr. Moonkid.
Thank you, my hot assistant, honey. So, all right, we got coffee again. I'm gonna be zooming. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna just be firing off things. You guys are gonna have to start writing stuff. Ooh. Okay. Nope, I'm not putting it there. That's not a good idea. So like I said, we're not writing things down. And because of that, pay attention. Since we're not writing things down, Soldier Boy, you will be going to the principal's office, and you will be expelled. We will be calling your parents and letting them know before we send you home. We are not writing things down, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not, and don't be like, oh, I wrote it down in my notes app. Shut up. Shut your mouth. I will call your mother right now. And if she's deceased, I'm calling your father. And if he's deceased, I'm calling your foster parent. If they're deceased, I'm calling you, and we're going to have a conversation. The fucking notes app is not the same thing as writing it down. You gotta pay attention. You gotta get a notebook and a pen. Listen, I know you're like, oh my God, no, like what? What is a pen? What is that? I've never even had. Look at this. This is probably 99 cents down at your local whatever store. You get one of these and you start writing in it. All right? No, but in all seriousness, I think that we've lost the art of writing things down. And there is actually a psychological, neurological effect, nature, and response in our brains to writing things down as opposed to like a screen. So I would implore you, the homework today is for anybody who is a Neanderthal and has access to paper and a pen. The homework for today is to write down these questions. Who was I before the world told me who to be? Number one. Who was I before the world told me to be? Write this down. Write it down. Pay attention. Pay attention. So you write this down. Who was I before the world told me who to be? Number two. What did I dream of Or what did I dream to be as a child? What did I dream of, or what did I dream to be as a child? And number 3, who would I like to be now? Who would I like to be now? And if you can answer all those honestly, you can answer a 4th and bonus question, which is, in one sentence, how would I describe myself as a person? And you can be as honest or as embellished as you want to be. But these are things that when you start writing them down, you start to get an idea of what's called the shape of your soul. You got to be able to know the shape of your soul. You got to be able to know what you like, what you don't like, what you detest, what you hate, what you despise, what pisses you off, what makes you feel great, what makes you feel not so great, what makes you easily angered and easily upset, what makes you easily vulnerable. You got to know all of these things, because sometimes in the pursuit of this, pay attention, in the pursuit of this, all of those things that we just talked about will come to the surface anyways. It's really dangerous to take a person who is not safe or safe in their own minds or within their own, they don't know the shape of their soul, and just give them a bunch of money and give them a bunch of resources. That's the worst thing you can do. It's to just pile on a bunch of external things that feel very immediate and real, when the real need is to assess what's going on in here. Once you can kind of figure out this is kind of who I've, because sometimes when you get to the person who you used to want to be, that you kind of muted as you started getting hurt as a child, that first time you felt that pain in your chest of oh man, that's painful, that emotionally doesn't feel good. I think that once you start to pick at those kind of hurt places, pay attention, you can kind of look at yourself honestly and say, well, maybe this is kind of why I've been pursuing this one dream. And then you kind of drop that and realize that it was kind of a symptom of maybe some unhealed trauma or whatever. And then you start pursuing another dream where you're no, this is actually more honest. This is more real to kind of the kid in me, or the child in me that's kind of maybe been muted or abused away by the world. And you can kind of learn how to heal that, and not only heal that, but also deal that a life that is truly honest to that child within you. Because I think a lot of times we want this, pay attention, we want the dream, we want the thing, but more significant than the dream is the dreamer. And if you get the dream without understanding the dreamer, you kind of just live in you kind of live behind the dream. You don't really live in it. You kind of have to learn. This is hard to articulate. You have to learn that the accomplishment of your dream oftentimes is not the thing that you're actually searching for. It's a very particular feeling of security, freedom, and permission to be. It's something that's hard to put a finger on. It's something that everyone kind of searches for when they listen to music or when they create. It's like this space. It's this other worldly space where you can kind of just exist and not have to really have so many expectations on you, right? Because a lot of times your dream is to be seen, to be adored, right? Without people having to be like, hey, why are you so, whatever, And that's a realistic thing to ask for. But anyways. Oh. There we go. I'm reading what you you guys are reading here or saying. I'm not driving, so I can actually read what you guys are saying this time. Don't be mean today. By the way, Karen, it's good to see you, man. I hope you're having a good day. We will be doing a little bit of a writing session later. A little members only. We had a members only live stream earlier, and I kept that VOD for you guys. But we will we'll have a writing session later for the studio. We'll do a studio session later, just you and me. What up, Frog? Collins, 100 XP for joining the stream. Drop a like if you know what I mean. We're gonna get a little bit more specific with the Q&A. We're gonna ask, what was your childhood dream? We're gonna go a little bit deeper here, because I think sometimes that's more indicative at times than anything else. Because when you were a kid, you had no barriers in here about what you could do. And sometimes that's when you get back to that dream, you kind of start living again. Because like for me, I'll give a perfect example. Pay attention. Hold on, I need better music for this. All right. So check this out. This is a perfect example. When I was really young, I told myself, well, I'm sorry. Well, yes, I was actually really young. But when I was pretty young, I told myself, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be a rock star. I'm gonna get on these stages, I'm gonna blow people away. It's gonna be awesome. And for like 10, 15 years, I started bands, dropped albums, made projects, did shows, did tours, made merch, shook hands, met artists, got high in studios, slept in studios, stayed up all night making songs. I made a lot of good memories. And to be honest, made a lot of dope shit. Like some of my music, bro, is fire. But here's the thing. I realized something about myself. And it was about, I think, 10 years into my journey. And it was after I'd spent a lot of time with a lot of different artists and musicians and rappers and shit. And I realized something about myself. Because I had always kind of been in these rooms. And I'd always kind of seen these other artists. And I'd always kind of hung out. And I'm going to be real with you. I've met some really, really cool... Yes, I have studied Taoism. Yes, I studied religion after high school. I've been around artists for a while, but I realized something about myself. And this is a very important, pay attention. This is a very important distinction as a creative, because I spent 10, 15 years in the music sphere, and it took me on the 15th year to realize that I'm not a music artist or a musician. I'm a writer first, comedian second, and a smart-ass son of a bitch third. So the reality is, I had been going through all this BS with music, and it took me a really long time, 15 years, to be man, why do I hate, I love being by myself writing in the studio, and I love going to shows, I love performing, I put it on a good performance when I would play music, bro. Like I would really be rocking the shows. But then afterwards, all the kibitzing with like the with all the other artists, bro. Like, yeah, bro, I got big things coming, bro. Like, man, shut the fuck up. You ain't got nothing coming except rent next month, nigga. So I was just really, I hated to. I hated. Okay, I don't hate musicians. I'm not saying I hate musicians, but I hated having to like to be as serious with them as they would be, because like sometimes I'd just be like, I would just find everything funny, bro. I would just find every single little thing funny, and other artists, bro, they don't find anything funny. There's, especially rappers, bro, I'm telling you right now, there's some rappers that they think that everything is like a movie. So like you can't be, they're always like, yeah, man, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, man, like, like, they always gotta be like this character. Like you can't be funny. You can't be like, you always gotta be like, yeah, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, like that's really how we lay it down, man. Like you can't be funny. And I think that made me miserable being around. I think like I need to be around goofy people. I need to be around like goofballs. Cause like anytime I'm around other writers or comedians or people that like comedy or people that like film, like we're fine. We're chill, dude. Like we could like one of my boys, bro, from back in the day, like we would just sit down, smoke cigarettes, and watch Twilight Zone. That was that, like, it would be like, yo, bro, you want to hang out? And that was what we would do. We were like some 50s like aristocrats. We were like, ah, yes, Rod Serling really was quite brilliant with this one. Yes. Like this is the type of that's the type of shit that I do. You know, like I like doing eclectic shit. You know, I'm too autistic to be like a rapper and like an artist. Like because I can't like I can mask all the time. I do it every day at my job, but like it's like you know, like and every day in life really, but it's like there's a certain level of masking that I can't accomplish for the sake of comedy, because it's like, no, this is too good. This is a bit right here. This guy, this whole persona thing that he's doing with the rapping and the tapping and the bapping and the boombity bapping, it's pretty hilarious actually. And some people just don't find anything funny. Some people don't think that being made fun of is funny, which I understand. I get it. I used to be very insecure myself. I also used to be a teenager. And I know that some people just can't handle being made fun of. And I get that, but I grew up with that. Like, you could never go unseen in my family. There was not, listen, going to my cousin's house as a child basically meant like, oh, great. Now we are going to assess every single detail of my physical and mental life for the next 8 to 10 hours. Because everyone would proceed to be like, yo, why does dude wear... Like, bro, you could genuinely have a good fit on, right? Like, it's either the fit was bad or the fit was too good. So if the fit was bad, we're like, yo, why does dude got his socks with the sandals on? Everybody look at this dude. But then you actually look nice, and then they come up to you and they're like, man, who this dude trying to look nice for? Look at this dude trying to look nice. There was no freedom. There was no freedom. All right. Abraham Lincoln did his best. He did his best. Pay attention. Pay attention. So, all of this to say, I don't remember what I was trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is, for 10 years, for 10, 15 years, I thought I wanted to be this, like, rock star. But then I kind of, like, through the pursuit of what I actually wasn't trying to... Okay, sorry. Let's rewind that. From the pursuit of what I thought I wanted to do, I found what I was supposed to do. Because it wasn't until I put down music... Oh, Hart, I didn't even see you in here, man. Good morning, dude. Or afternoon or night. What, I don't know what time zone you're in. I have no idea I have no idea what time it is for you, but I hope you're having a great whatever it is. So I did music for 10, 15 years thinking, oh my gosh, this is what I'm going to end up doing. And then I stopped doing it. And then when I stopped doing it, the grand question was, what the fuck do I do now? Because when you do something and you get good at it for like 15 years, it's kind of like a bit of an identity crisis where you go, well, I don't really know what else to do. But then I started to kind of like, because let me tell you this first and foremost, your memory and my memory is never going to be as good as we think it is. Because we are going to tell ourselves all of this stuff about the past. And I had told myself for the longest time, I always wanted to be a musician. I always want to be an artist. I would even do that thing, bro. Oh my God. I would do that thing when like, and I'm not even kidding. When I was like younger and like people were like asking me about my art, I would do that thing where I'd like pretend to be in an interview. Like they'd ask me a question. I'd be like, yeah, you know, I just feel like it's always been something that I wanted to like I'll get in the position like yeah, you know, just being an artist, you know, like let me tell you something about music, man. Let me tell you something about music. But you know, like I took myself so seriously for so long because that was how I felt like I needed to really be like, you know, and I was like, oh, this is how I'm gonna. Oh, hold on. Oh my God. I just almost broke the live stream. I'm sorry, guys. But hey, anyways, back to what I was saying. It wasn't until I stopped doing music and all that stuff that I asked myself that question. And, you know, I look back on my life. I look back on, you know, the things that I did. And like I said, our memories seem to fail us. And I had kind of told myself, kind of made this idea of myself that I had always wanted to do music. And I had at a certain point. But I wanted to start doing music only as a means of being able to hang out with my friends. It was why we started a band. Because we were just like, hey, let's just make music, be rock stars together. And then we stopped doing that. I started doing it on my own. And the idea was always, oh, I'll get big and like we all just hang out together. That was the start of the dream. And I missed the years where I started a YouTube channel when I was 11 years old. With my boy Anvil, the guy that I did my last YouTube video with. When I was 11 years old, him and I had a show called The Mike Roch Show. And, oh man, that was like forever ago. But we did that, and then when I was in high school, I think it was sophomore year, I started a thing called the T&E Show. And it was like a skit, kind of improv comedy show. Way ahead of my time. Anyways, just saying. I did it first. But I'm just kidding. But the reality is that I kind of always had this scope for like network TV, movies. You know, I had, when I was a kid, my mom worked like 3 or 4 jobs, and my brother and sister. My brother is like almost 10 years older than me. My sister's like 5 years older than me. And my sister would kind of take care of me a lot. But when I got older, you know, she would go out, hang out with the friends, you know. And when I was like kind of like, when I was hitting like 8 or 9, I'm the youngest of 3. When I was like hitting 8 or 9, my older siblings were teenagers. So they were going out, like they were like, you know, doing whatever early 2000s teenagers was doing out there. And I was at home just chilling by myself because I had the faculty at 8 or 9 to cook, to make a sandwich, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They made sure I was good. You know, they made sure I was able to survive on my own. But that was the thing, is we would have movies. So I would watch movies over and over and over and over again. And then I would watch the director's commentary. Because to me, it felt like, hey, like that was back before we had like podcasts and all this joint. So to me, that's what felt like hanging out with people. is when the director got on there, started talking like, yes, and this scene for me was actually very important because it really felt like it described the nature of the character. And like for me, I was like, like 9 years old, like, yeah, man, I actually agree with you, like, because I was actually catching on to at least some of what they were talking about in the nature of like describing what their vision was, and I really liked that. So I would watch things like that. I remember we didn't have cable or whatever at the time, so I would actually go down to the public library with my mom, and we would rent DVDs, and I would watch. I would rent DVDs of like Looney Tunes, Simpsons, The Office. So I would watch a lot of these shows. And I would just watch them over and over again. So, and instead of just enjoying them as the show, as a kid, I got to a level of being like, man, how did they make this shit? Like, I was like, I want to know how they made this. I was like, because even as a kid, I was like, I want to make this. Like, this is cool. And that developed for me a love for not only just the experience of watching TV or film, but actually the process. Because with a lot of back then, and I know I'm aging myself here, but on the DVDs for certain movies, they would have, pay attention, they would have two different discs. And one of the discs would have the movie, and the other disc would have bonus features. I know. Listen, pay attention. We're talking about ancient history here. There will be a quiz. So one of the discs has the movie, one of the discs got the bonus features. And the bonus features would sometimes give you like, the interviews of the actors and like shots of how they made the movie. And that to me, when I saw that at like 8, 9 years old, I was sold. I was sold. I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, that is where I want to be. I'm like, behind the curtain, where they making the magic, where the magic happening, that's where I'm trying to be, boy. So I, early on, was very imaginative. And oftentimes, when I would have these movies, watch them over and over again, sometimes what I would do by myself in the house is I would dress up as a character that I had thought of in my head that would fit into the world of this movie, that's kind of like adjacent to the movie and doesn't really impact the story or change the story, but just like witnesses it, right? And I would think of like how that character would think and move in the world. And so early on, I even got a feel for like the imagination of imagining a story. So I was writing stories, writing comics. I've written this comic for this one character. I think the original name was Dark Bengal. Was the name of the superhero, and I made this whole like origin story, like all of the villains, and I had a comedy stick figure comic strip. So I was fairly ubiquitous with my projects, even as a single digits young man. But the reality is that I didn't remember this because I had spent about 10 years pursuing the music thing for so long that I didn't really, what's the word? I didn't really have it's almost like I didn't make space for that memory. You know what I'm saying? Hey, good morning, man. Good to see you at church, man. That's awesome. But it kind of took me getting back to myself to remember, like, hey, this was how you grew up. This was what you loved as a child. This was the first time in your heart and mind where you said, whoa, like it lit a spark, like I was talking about earlier. And all of us are just sparks of the same flame that is going to burn generation after generation. And it is your duty to remember the spark, figure out where that light comes from. For me, it's movies, comedy, writing. That's it. And that's my direction. Comedic writer, director, maybe sometimes actor. But the thing is You got to figure out what makes you come alive. You got to figure out what makes you come alive. If you don't know what makes you come alive, give yourself the time and the respect to figure out what does. Childhood dream. You want to be in quiet luxury. You want your life to be quiet, but you want to be very rich. That's not a bad dream. That's a reasonable man right there. What you are seeing there, ladies and gentlemen, is called a reasonable man. Pay attention. Sometimes just wanting the quiet, calm life is nothing more than the way we were designed to live. Aching to be lived out once again. My hope, and we talked about this earlier, sometimes the answer to this question has to be dug out. Sometimes the answer to this question has to be like, what's the word? Excavated. That's the word. Excavated. Sometimes the answer to who did I want to be when I was a child has to be excavated. Because like for me, it had to be excavated after 15 years of pursuing a music career and then turning down a tour for me to realize what it is that I wanted. It was like, I don't want to be in bars all across America talking to different dudes like, yeah, I got this project, man. We should really link up. We should really work together. Like, I don't want to be and like when I could be at home with my beautiful wifey, my cats, I could like hang out with my family. I could just be writing stuff. Like, bro, like this is my office. This is my office. That's what I want. That's my dream. That I can make my family comfortable from working right here. From working right here. And then I go out and do stuff with people that I love. That's really it. That's literally it. It's as simple as that. Like I don't even really want like fame, because you know what fame would do to me? People would be so sick of me, dude. Like, oh my gosh, they would have a field day. They'd be like, yeah, this guy's insane, certified. Like he his favorite superhero is someone with dissociative identity disorder. I don't think that's someone that we should really be glorifying. You know, this man is as dangerous as a danger to children. He should not have a platform. He should not be like, you know, they'd have a field day with me. Oh my God, I don't want fame, but it might be unavoidable because I am like kind of hard to miss. You know, I'm not like a dude that you see and you're like, oh, I've seen that kind of guy before. It's almost like you look at me like, is he Black, Middle Eastern, Indian? Like, who? We don't know which race to discriminate on this dude. This is crazy. But regardless, it's good. Pay attention. Let's get back to this. It's good to know the answer to this question. And it's okay if you don't know the answer to this question. Because if you don't know the answer to this question, that just means that you need to do a little bit of writing, a little bit of searching, a little bit of who am I, you know? I do not know that artist, but I do hope that you're having a good day. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm tall, I gotta stretch my back. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I don't remember what I was saying. Let's try this. Let's do this. What? Oh, would you like to accomplish this year. Because this is something that oftentimes we get a little wrapped up in the big part of the big dream, the big picture, the big grandiose thing, and that can oftentimes, more often than not, that can kind of overwhelm us, right? And sometimes when we're feeling overwhelmed, it's really, really important to find a rock that can stabilize us. And what I mean by that is this. Sometimes the way to accomplish what you're dreaming isn't to always picture the big thing, but to accomplish a bunch of small things. You ask yourself, what can I accomplish this year within my faculty, within my resources, within my grasp? What could I do this year, right? So like for me, for a while, it was like I could get 1,000 subs. I could get 10,000 subs. Oh yeah, Starlight session? Yeah, dude. Heck yeah, man. Hey man. Thanks for hanging out, gamer. Spotted a gamer. Spotted a gamer. What's up, gamer? Yeah, dude. One day this will be a whole room worth of what other people would consider useless Moon Knight merchandise. I'm very tall, so I had to sit down. I can't stand up the whole time. Moonunk is getting old, so I can't stand up the whole. I'm kvetching right now. All right, I can't stand up the whole time. This coffee is amazing. I can't have too much of it though. Nah, deadass. No, like actually. But what were we talking about? I don't remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah. The rock that you stand on when you get overwhelmed. It's good to have singular goals. It's good to have singular goals. Singular goals that you can accomplish within a reasonable amount of time. You ask yourself, okay, I want to be an actor, singer. Well, by the end of this year, then I will want to have one song written, or I want to have one scene memorized, or I want to have a headshot taken, and I want to have 5 auditions done by the end of the summer. You can accomplish things like this. You just have to ask yourself what it is you're willing to accomplish. What are you willing to get good at? What are you willing to be bad at until you're good at? Right? Like what are you willing to embarrass yourself on? Right? Like think of stand-up comedians, right? Like I'm more of a writer comedian. I'm more comfortable in the writer's room. On stage, I would probably be like Adam Sandler and have some like guitar, some type of music thing. I can't really just do bits. I mean, I've done it before, but it's like, it's not my particular. I haven't worked out in that way enough. But I'll tell you what, Hunter. We are going to be starting up the shop again, but it's going to be at the end of the year because there was some technological issues with our last shop on Shopify. So we're either going to look at a different source to outsource clothing too. So we're gonna either do like some kind of third party local thing, or just have to work things out with Shopify. But that's gonna kind of be at the end of the year. But I will put you on a reserve list for that. Just make sure that we'll make a channel in the Discord for people who want merch. I'll make sure that you'll be one of the first people to not only get one, but to actually have one discounted for being such a cool gamer. I mean, you've gotten me skins, you've donated, you've been watching me for a while. So when we do actually launch our merch hunter, you're gonna be getting something first. All right, just know that. One of the first. Kieran will probably be the actual first, but everybody who's the OGs definitely gonna be getting that. So, oh, I have an itch in my beard. Yeah, there were exactly, and that was my biggest issue. I was like, a lot of you guys are international. Like most of my most loyal followers are international. So I'm like, no way am I going to be outsourcing my merchandise to someone that's not going to do international. That's like one of the first agreements that we have to be solid on. So that was why we cut the shop. They weren't doing international, and that's our executive producer is international. So what are we doing? So we are, that is on the docket, but it's very low priority because merch is like, it's a weird shelf right now. He said tariff, no tariff. Just call me Johnny Tariff the way I be internationally shipping. But yeah, we want to make sure that we're able to get our international people on board, because the first person that's getting a like internationally shipped thing is our executive producer, Kieran Bolton. That's the first dude. He's getting, and we also want to change the branding, because instead of doing Moonkid, we want to do MKTV and MK. Keep it subtle. Yeah, it was my idea. I'm kind of a fashion icon. I'm kind of it's called fashion, sweetie. Look it up, all right? Okay. It's called minimalism. You ever heard of it? All right. All right, I'm sorry. But listen, I'm not sorry. But here's the deal. You guys need to be able to give yourself the permission to dream. Give yourself the permission to assess the dream. Ask yourself, why the dream? Why the dream? And then ask yourself, why not the dream? And then ask yourself, what dreams have I forgotten? And then give yourself the permission to realistically pursue that. Like for me, since I've reached 10,000 subs, I've gotten monetized, I've reached those goals. This year, my goal is to slowly, incrementally, and intentionally grow my channel into a platform where I can create and I can support my family, right? So that's a goal. Like, and those are, and I guess that's kind of broad, but I guess you could say one of the goals is to get to at least 200 members by the end of 2026. So that at least 200 members are locked in, getting exclusive content, getting exclusive live streams, and supporting the network. Think about shows like The Chosen, right? This was crowdfunded until it became genuinely like a community and a network of people that wanted to support and fund something that they felt a part of. And that's kind of the same model idea that we're doing, where it's like, instead of depending on AdSense, instead of depending on, someone that is willing to sponsor, a septum, gauge pierced guy, which is, by the way, like, no companies want to tattoos on the, yeah, absolutely not. Nobody wants to sponsor this, but people who are creatively inclined, people who need rest from the chaos of the world, people who long for authenticity and raw, uncut art, will always float towards this. And if we can make this a channel sustained by that, it will and always will be successful, for the same reason that anything else like that is. So it's the gamers that are really going to be able to sustain this, and that's the model and the goal that I'm going with. That at the end of this year, by the end of this year, 200 members. 200 members to take us into the next part of the gate. And you know what? If we were to have 1,000 members, that's the hopeful goal. The realistic goal that I'm setting for myself is 200. But I do believe that we have the capacity to hit at least 1,000 members by the end of this year, depending on how we. It depends on what we're putting out, right? Because it's on me and the team to really create stuff that's worth saying, hey, you know what? I will pay the 99 cents a month to get this, or I will pay the $2.99 or the $6.99 or the $14.99. And that's really our goal, to just make better and better stuff for you, to make myself as a creator more available to those who want to know how to do this, how to get here. Because one day I'm going to pass on, and there's going to be other people who feel that spark and want to figure out how to keep that fire going, and I gotcha. That's the whole point. I'm very authentic. I'm very open. I don't like holding anything back as an artist. Hey, at Gamer Subs, yeah, you're actually right. You're not wrong about that. They might sponsor someone like me. I mean, I do have a pretty sponsorable face, but they might be like, we're gonna need you to take this out. We're gonna need you to. Why don't you just remove that, just for one video, just for one. We just really can't have our company representing somebody. I've been in corporate speak. I know how they think and act, and it's okay because it's their job. But it's my job as a writer, comedian, future director, okay, filmmaker, artist. It's my job to remain as mad as possible, okay? So that the world feels a little bit less crazy to you, you know? Like, if I'm crazy enough, the world will seem fine. Monday will seem like a breeze. You'll be like, wow, this seems pretty normal now. But no, gamer supplements is true. That would be cool. What we'd have to think, it'd have to be like Lunar Lemon. You know, type in code moonkid to get 10% off your first order of Lunar Lemon flavor. So it's funny you say that. We're actually in the process of, we just greenlit a series to do an animated series. I can't share the exact details of what the series is. We kind of got to keep that under wraps. But if you are in moonkid TV Prime and up, you do know what the series is. But we do have an animated series that is slotted for release in July. We're trying to release it in July. Yeah. So, and that is kind of a direction we're hoping to go. It will be in short format first. That's where we're gonna always start our animated stuff. We don't wanna, I'm not gonna have an animator do a 10-minute animated series for something that you guys might watch. It's gonna be something that you will watch, and it'll be 1 to 3 minutes on shorts. So, but it's a cool series. I'm excited about it. We're gonna be doing a writer's room later. We're going to be doing a little writer's room later for it. I actually have the concept art literally sitting right here. This is the drawing pad that I have. It's the drawing pad. And we got some notebooks. We got some notebooks here. And we're going to be doing some writing of the script later. We're going to do a little writer's room, which if you are part of the moonkid TV member Prime and higher, you can have access to that VOD and live stream where you get to see me writing for a series that will be coming out, which is kind of a cool process in my opinion. Get to kind of see behind the scenes, you know, the thought process. How do we come up with jokes? You know, what do we think is funny? You know, what is a funny situation? You know, is this a good bit? You know, because the creative process to me is the sauce. The creative process is the place where I always want to be. I don't care how, you know, at the end of the day, I hope it kills. I hope that people laugh. I hope that people love it. But really the creative process for me is, we got a new moonkid TV Prime member today. I rate frame rates. 1,000 XP for joining moonkid TV Prime today. You will have not only access to these studio live streams, but you'll get to be part of the creative process where we talk about, go over, and show you the writing process. So thank you so much for joining moonkid TV Prime. You will not only have access to these exclusive live streams, but you will also have access to exclusive videos and shorts that other people don't have access to. So you're going to be able to check later and see that you actually have some member-only exclusive stuff. You're going to have some emojis already for you. That badge there is actually the Moon Knight KO from Marvel Rivals. But welcome to the club, my friend. We're glad to have you, man. We're glad to have you. That there is Kieran Bolton. He's actually our foreign UK executive producer here at moonkid TV. And is part of the moonkid studio tier, so he actually has studio credits, and is very unique for that reason, because not everybody who joins on here is going to have studio credits, but he himself has studio credits. But Kieran knows that later we will be doing some script writing in the studio for our new animated series, which in this live stream we cannot talk about what it is. But in the later live stream, we will talk about what that is. And we will let you guys in on not only the creative process of writing comedy, but the creative process of writing a comedic animated series. Because much like the South Park creators, myself and the animator will actually be also voicing these characters. So there's actually a different process that happens. And I can talk about this because we're not talking about what we're doing, but there's a specific process that happens when you, as the writer or creator, are actually in the project itself, that it changes the flow of the creativity. Because instead of having to share the process between two different conduits, and by this I mean the director, writer, or the director and actor, it's all going through one person, which at times will actually produce more of a current, just like any energy currents with conduits. So our attempt will be, just like Moon Knight, to find the right hat to put on at the right time and say, okay, when I'm acting out the scene, I think it would be really funny for me to say, fill in the blank, you know. And when we're in that writer's room, you guys are more than welcome. Anybody who's a part of the live stream, remember this. If you're a part of moonkid TV Prime and above, when you're a part of these writer rooms, you're a writer. You're not just a viewer anymore. You yourself are in the writer's room and shoot out anything. Now you guys gotta remember, I will, if there's things that don't make the cutting floor, and that's okay. We got to set these rules for all the members so you know, because some of you may have never written in a room with writers before. Some things will not make the writer's floor, and that's okay. Our goal is, let's make it work. And sometimes I'll say no to stuff, and sometimes you guys can say no to stuff. As the writers, you can say, oh my gosh, like, no. Like, this is dumb. This is not, this would be way funnier if you said it like this. Because to me, that's the beauty of comedy. When you bring other people in, we can all say, yeah, this really wasn't that funny. Like this, I feel like it'd be funnier if this character was like this. Because that's all we want to do. We want to make a good story. We want to make lovable characters. We want to make something that people can enter into and escape into. That gives them rest and reprieve from their shitty lives. Because life can be shitty sometimes. And our job is to make it less shitty. That's our commitment here in this club. We here in the Luna community, much like the moon itself, promise to shine in the night of the lives of others, to bring laughter, light, and security to those who do not feel peace. This is the commitment. You are always writing your own show. My friend, we may become friends. We may become friends. I like writers. I like hanging out with writers. We were talking about this earlier when earlier in my creative career, I told myself I was going to be a rock star and a rapper and an artist. And I am an artist, but definitely not a rapper or a musician fully, or only. or singularly, because I find myself at home with comedians, writers, and humble musicians. Like, I probably would have gotten along with Prince. Me and Prince probably would have been extremely good friends. Me and David Bowie would have been very good friends. Established artists that are like really well manifested in their own identity. Those are the only ones that I like. Not the ones that are like not there yet. I can't be with those ones. I can't be around those kind of artists. Writers are mad people. Like, they are just mad in the head, and I love those people. You stay in your show's mindset, but as Gramps, I'll give my input to help add what I can. Hey man, honestly though, I like writers' rooms. I like writers' rooms, man. Like, you could give whatever input, because to me it's not about oh man, you're making me want to end this live stream and just do the writers' room, because to me it's not about like, I try to remove the ego from the show. I just want to make a good show. I just want to make something that when we watch it, we're like, this is hilarious. This is funny. This is just good. This is just good. I don't care about my, how it makes my channel. Oh, we gotta make sure the click-through rate is really good on this. Like, no. We gotta make sure the jokes are bangers. We gotta make sure the movements and the animations really enhance the comedy. That's something we'll work on with the animator. But from what short time you spent with you, you're on a good mindset and path. I appreciate it. Thank you. Because listen, I've spent a lot of time with other creatives enough to know the ones that I really don't like, and the ones that I really like, and the ones that I would like to emulate, and the ones that I don't want to emulate. What up, bum? There's just some creatives that make you go, like, hey man, we should never hang out. But that's okay. Like, you gotta find your tribe. You gotta find your people. And mine is like writers, like comedians and filmmakers, like that, and gamers. Like that, those are my people. Anything other than that, I'm tolerating them. But Bob, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're having a good day. We're talking about the writers' room live stream we're doing later for some of the members. But yeah, man. I want to get the project to a place where it's because I know how much I valued and value and will always value art. The art is what matters. Like, art is what made me feel like I wasn't left by myself as a kid. Art was what made me feel like I was in these beautiful worlds as a kid. I wasn't looking at what I didn't have. I was looking at these dope movies, these well-written characters, and listening to the director's commentaries at 8 years old, because art gave me a world to dive into that didn't abuse me, that didn't ignore me, that didn't abandon me. It made me imagine and wonder and fantasize and dream. And because of that reason, art is something to uphold and something to respectfully manifest. And for me, if I'm working on a project with other people, that to me is like a holy thing. Like, anybody who's willing to go in with you on a creative thing, that is a holy thing. You're about to beat Terraria? Go to it. Sir, that is goated. Goated. And yeah, welcome Irate. Irate is a new part of our members community. He is actually kind enough to have partaken in the moonkid TV Prime tier of membership. So he will now have access not only to our studio live stream later in our writers' room, but he's going to have an inside look at a lot of content that other people aren't seeing right now. And for those who are curious to also be a part of the memberships, yes, memberships are live on the channel. If you don't have enough money for moonkid TV Prime, don't worry. We were very conscious of that, and here at moonkid TV, we wanted to make sure we made a path for everybody. So we actually have the very first tier, moonkid TV Access, starting at 99 cents a month, guys. So even if you don't got that money, don't worry about it. Even if 99 cents a month is too much, don't worry. We're still conscious of that. We're still going to be pumping out content for people who Yeah, if you don't have 99 cents a month, we get it. That happens, man. It's okay. We're not going to be leaving you guys in the dust saying, "Ah, forget those people. They don't have 99 cents." No, we're still going to have live streams like this, a bunch of things for you guys to enjoy. But the memberships are really for people who kind of want to lock in and really start building this network with me, start writing things, start giving advice, putting input into content, seeing, things on a deeper level with me as a creator. Those we want to give more access to the people who want it, but we got to be able to support the network somehow. So that's really what those memberships are about. So here's the deal: we do have exclusive emojis for the first tiers and up. Everybody, whether you're paying 99 cents or $15, you get emojis, you get badges. Though that it is something that is exclusive to all tiers. What is exclusive to moonkid TV Prime and up, or excuse me, moonkid TV Plus and up, is the membership streams and shorts and videos. Now, when you get to moonkid TV Studio, that's the highest tier. That's when you go from being a viewer, or excuse me, well, it's really Prime and Studio. That's when you go from being a viewer to you are now a writer and participant on this network. Like that, because we're not just, if you're dope enough, like my friend Kieran here, to support this network for $15 a month, you better believe we working together now. We are colleagues now. You're not just no supporter. You're not just no regular schmegular Joe Schmo. You, sir, are now a writer, producer on this network for any projects we do from here on out. And that's the deal. I'm not just trying to nickel dime y'all. I'm trying to give y'all access to actually putting a little portfolio together. Cause like, let's say, like, check this out. Check this out. Pay attention. Pay attention. Kieran here is nice enough to support me being the moonkid TV Studio tier. Some people will be like, "Man, why you doing that? This guy's a nobody. He only got 10,000 subscribers. Fuck that guy." Check this out. We greenlight. Pay attention. We greenlight a series. That series goes viral. That series starts getting looked at by major production companies and legit places like, whoa, this is a good show. Kieran Bolton is the executive producer on that. Kieran Bolton could be sitting at his 9 to 5 somewhere, and all of a sudden someone comes up to him like, "Man, have you seen this show?" And he's like, "Yeah, I executive produced it, actually." That's the whole point. That's the whole point. And even if you only have moonkid TV access, you'll be able to see the process that goes behind making that. What's cool is a lot of times we just see people blow up, we don't know why. When I do, you're going to see why. And you're actually not only going to see why, you're going to be a part of that. You're going to be part of the Avengers team that made that happen. Like that's the sauce right there, baby. It's like you're at a very special time right now. Your boy here just hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm a year into being monetized. This thing could blow at any moment. And we have a couple of series that, in my opinion, when we do the studio writer's room later, I think you guys are going to see why. Because we have some ideas that it's like, this is pure gold. And all we have to do is put our brains together and figure out how to make these jokes work. We give it to the animator, and we just see how many seasons we can squeeze out of this bad boy. And that's all we do. That's all we do. We just come up with funny stuff, and we'll just keep going. Now, of course, at a certain point when it does get, successful, it's not like everybody who does studio is going to be an executive producer. It's really only going to be for the starting, the first couple of people who are in this inner circle that will get like credits and stuff. At a certain point, that will stop, and people will just have regular schmegular stuff. But you guys are in the starting ground of something that is. And let me explain this to you. Pay attention. We're actually going to stand up for this. This is going to get serious. I need you guys to understand something. When I was growing up, we had something called icons and legends. Now, what happened in the period of me growing up and the world changing and wars and power changes and political structures, what has happened is the allure and the illusion of the icon and celebrity has gone away. Now, in 1975, this was the first time this actually happened. In 1975, you may have heard of something called Watergate, where for the very first time, the President of the United States was convicted of a crime and held accountable for corruption and spying on the other political party. Now, because of this, in 1975, our country was feeling a little bit uneasy. It was the first time in a country that we felt like we couldn't trust the power structures that were set up in our world to make us feel safe, to make us feel like things were running smoothly, to make us feel like we had a future worth planning for. So in 1975, not only were people shaken by the reality of a lot of the allure and the illusion of icons going away, they felt a little scared. What was the world going to be next? And it was the artists, the comedians, people like Steve Martin, bands, like all the bands from the 70s that we love and glorify now. These people were creating in the middle of a grand tension. And the tension was the death of the old world and the birth of the new one. In 1975, what we had was kind of the death of old Hollywood, like those old, Cary Grant and I can't even think of another person besides Cary Grant right now, but all of those old actors, old like timey, the great Sammy Davis Jr., all these people, that was going away. All those people were either dying, dead, or definitely plotting for some great grave, real estate. So 1975 was a really interesting time where artists kind of were trying wild and wacky things. Filmmakers were making strange movies. Jaws came out at this time, and Jaws kind of represented and manifested the fear that everyone was feeling about kind of this impending doom in the world. Vietnam was going on at that time, and people really weren't happy with power structures. I'm saying all of this to say, now, in 2026, we are in very much of a similar landscape where it is up to the creators to kind of bring us out of the discomfort and the chaos of being so uncertain about the powers that be, about so uncertain about wars that we don't want to be involved in, and we got to try stuff. Because like I said, the illusion of the celebrity has gone away. Just like in 1975, the illusion of no corruption in the office went away, the illusion of celebrity and glorifying icons has faded. Nobody can be. We have so much access now with like these things, with like the internet. You can't pretend to be nothing. It would take the greatest actor in the world to convince you that there's some hot shit and that their shit don't stink. Everybody's got flaws, and because we're in 4K live streaming 24/7, we can all see them. So the new icons, the new legends, the new pioneers will be people and artists who are willing to fearlessly and authentically, most importantly, pay attention, who are willing to fearlessly and authentically pave the way forward. And your boy is gonna be one of those people, I'm telling you right now. I'm letting you know right now, before they do all the fucking documentaries about me after I die, okay? They're gonna have these fucking documentaries of me, right? When I'm dead, right? Like they're gonna be calling me like a legend of my town. There'll be some fucking guy in a chair that I have never hung out with in my life. He'll be sitting there like this. He'll be like, yes, I actually knew that Moonkid was an icon long before anyone else. I saw one of his videos and I just said, that's it. He's him. And I'll have no fucking clue who that guy is. But before they make a documentary about me, I'm just letting y'all know that with the setup of understanding that our world is very much so in the same political climate and everything climate that we were in 1975, that much like George Carlin, much like Steve Martin, much like Eddie Murphy, much like Dave Chappelle, much like the greats of a time that is now fading away, your boy Moonkid got you. because the new age is coming. The new age of artists, the renaissance of art has arrived, my friends. So to be a member here is more than just paying some money a month. What you're doing is you're participating in the grand uprising of an art renaissance, where the authenticity of the creator is required for the longevity of the career. It used to be the other way around. It used to be you come up with a character, you get a funny bit, and then that's the thing you do. And then you get a TV show. And then once you get a TV show, you get a couple movie deals. Then when you get a couple movie deals, everybody is saying your lines. Everybody wants your toys. Everybody wants your character. You're good. Not anymore. Not anymore. That's not the deal. We are in 4K 24/7, 7 days a week. The most successful person in the new age of artists will be the person that is most comfortable with themselves. Pay attention. The most successful artist in the new age of artists will be the artist that is most comfortable with themselves. You have to get to the point. Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. If everybody in the world was watching me 24/7, like on some Truman Show type shit, would I, like, that's the artist that can truly, like, live that way will be the most successful artist in the new generation. So, I'm just letting y'all know that in like 50 years, they're going to be talking about this exact time. I'm just letting you know, in 50 years. They're going to be like, we could have never anticipated. No, here's the documentary right here. We could have never anticipated what Moonkid would have done for the industry at that time. The landscape was changing, AI, people. It was like the age of the internet in 1999 when people thought Y2K was going to take everything out. It was absolutely necessary for an artist like Moonkid to come along and change the landscape, the understanding of what we think of as an artist. That's what they're going to say. And I'll be dead, all right? And it'll be fine, okay? Because, 50 years, I'll probably still be alive. I'll be like George Carlin, though. I'll be like angry. I'll be like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm not doing no damn interview. I'm not getting dressed for that shit. I don't know why I'll talk like this, but when I'm old, that's how I'll talk. I'll be like, I don't want to do anything. But for those who are, pay attention. For those who are willing to support from this place, thank you, because you are true believers. You are true believers. You see the goal. You see the path. You see the way forward. You see that the world is changing. The old way, it had its time, but the new way is coming. And the new way is authentic. The new way is honest. And the new way is fully seen. The new way is truth. And it would be so awful of me if I tried to kick off this thing, to lay the foundation of this thing with anything other than that. Honesty, authenticity, truth. Listen, I'm a goofball. I'm mad up here, okay? Nobody decides to start a YouTube channel, be an artist, or do any of this because they are a normal, sane person. My favorite superhero has dissociative identity disorder. My favorite superhero is mentally unwell. Okay, that's letting you know a lot about me. But what I could do is through, just like Moon Knight, through an authenticity and an embracing of the chaos that exists in my mind, and a willingness to make that chaos into something beautiful that can make you laugh, make you cry, make you just feel some sense of relief. That is a superpower. It's the willingness to take the weight of your brokenness, the weight of your imperfection, and be willing and brave enough to turn it into art. Because for me, I am totally imperfect, man. Listen, I'm on the spectrum, okay? I was undiagnosed for years, And I would have all these weird habits. I would like pick my skin. I still do it. Pick my skin just like without thinking about it. All of a sudden I look down, I'm bleeding. What the hell? You know, I have eczema. I can't go a day in my life without moisturize. I was trying to look for my moisturizer so I could show y'all. Like, last year, like this is something I do for a job. Last year, I was out for 6 months out of the year because of health issues. I couldn't do no live streams, no nothing. Like, I'm a human being. You know what I mean? I have gambled on farts and shit my pants before. And you guys have to know that. Right? In this new age of artists, I can't be walking around acting like I ain't shit my pants before. People gotta know that. They gotta hear the story of how I did that. Because the more authenticity we give as artists, the less disconnected we'll feel from the art. I feel the most connected to artists when they are putting their whole self into something. Like, pay attention. I'm about to go on an autistic info dump rant. Check this out. My favorite artist of all time will and forever always be Justin Vernon from Bon Iver. Justin Vernon from Bon Iver is a very popular artist, producer, and writer, and has gotten so popular from his success that he's even written and produced for the likes of Taylor Swift, really cool band like the Staves, and many more people. Kanye West. He produced actually most of My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy, which is arguably one of Kanye's greatest albums of all time. That's besides the point. I digress. The reason I'm bringing this up is when I was about 13, 14 years old, this was back when Black Friday was still like a thing that you would leave the house for. My buddy Dan calls me up at about 10 p.m. the day before. So I'd already had turkey, already had the whole, hanging out with the family deal. We start going out at 10 p.m. Thanksgiving night so that we can drive around, stay awake for the earliest shops that are going to be open. We go around doing our shopping, and to have you kind of have some context, I was like 13, 14. This dude was a little bit older, so I felt like he was like a cool adult, older brother. I kind of wanted to be like him. He was a very hipster dude, This was back in like 2011, 2012, right? And we'd spend this whole night shopping. We did shopping, Christmas shopping for our parents, our significant others, all this stuff at this time. And then finally, at the very end of it, I had $5 left. And I had $5 left, and we were chilling out in a Best Buy in a mall in a nearby town that I lived in. I don't know why I said it like that. Anyways, we were in a Best Buy, and it was towards the end, so I think it was probably at like 12 noon of Black Friday the next day. So we had already done all our shopping all night, all that next morning. Had $5 left. $5. And I'm sitting waiting for Dan to get ready, done doing what he's doing. And I look over on this very kind of empty shelf of CDs. There's like a couple of CDs here and there. And they got this one part of the shelf that's like value deals, $5. And I see this little CD. And it kind of looks like a little frosted over picture of some woods. And I don't know, the picture just made me go, wow, man, that's interesting. And what's really cool is me and Dan got in the habit of hanging out back in that day. And a lot of what we would do is we would go to a record store and we would pick out one CD just based off of what the picture looked like. So at the end of shopping on Black Friday, I got $5 left. I see the CD, I see the picture, it makes me intrigued, and I see a big $5 sticker on the plastic. So I think naturally, I'm going to, I just broke my thingy, hold on. I'm kind of sad about that. I'm sad about that. I broke my pointer, guys. The show must go on. It must go on! I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. But psych, because I have another one. You thought I wasn't prepared for this situation, but I was. Always be ready. Backup pointer. Anyways, as I was saying. So I see the $5 sticker, and I buy the album. That album was Bon Iver's very first Grammy-winning and nominated album for Emma Forever Ago from 2008, which didn't win until 2010, which afterwards he dropped his sophomore album, Bon Iver, which is another classic. Here's the point. Justin Vernon, who's the frontman of Bon Iver, has and always will be one of my favorite artists. For one simple reason. Everything he does is an abstract window into his raw soul. And what I mean by that is, he could be singing something that you have no idea what he's saying or what it means, but you can feel it. Like when he's like, in 715 Creeks, which is one of my favorite songs. Down along the creek, I remember something. Hear the ritual sounding on the glass. Like, you don't even know what he's saying, but he's really singing. Because, like, bro can sing. And from the very first time I ever heard his music, I was so drawn to it. Because I was like, I don't know what's going on with dude, but he's really feeling it. So I keep listening. I listened to For Emma Forever Ago. I listened to Bon Iver. This dude didn't drop an album for another 5 years. I fall in love with this artist. It's like finding an anime that only got like 9 episodes in one season. I fall in love with this dude. He made the best albums I'd ever listened to. I'm listening over and over and over and over again. I'm like, yo, when's this dude's next album? 5 years, he don't drop nothing. And all of a sudden, 5 years later, on my birthday, this dude comes out with a new album in the middle of, like, I kid you not, like one of the worst times of my life. He's like, here you go, bro, I got you. But, nah, in all seriousness, I didn't obtain at that time, in my young years, what's called the faculty to feel fully. Let me say that again. Pay attention. In my teenage years, I didn't have what's called the faculty to feel fully. And what that means is, the reason why someone like Bon Iver was so inspiring to me is because, what up, Abe Lincoln, 16th President of the United States, 407 XP for joining the stream. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing all right. Stay away from those theaters. Anyways, when I was young, I didn't have the faculty or freedom to feel. So because of that, I really felt attached to artists like Moon Knight. Bon Iver, because his art represented the full freedom and faculty to feel. All that to say, just like Abe Lincoln, our boy here, signed the Emancipation Proclamation to free the slaves, you yourself have to sign your own Emancipation Proclamation to be free to feel and express creatively what you want to express. So, for me, artists like Bon Iver paved the way for me, a young man, to figure out how to feel. Because sometimes, good parenting or not, present parents or not, you will encounter a problem as an adult. And that problem is a lot of those same feelings, fears, uncertainties, and dreams that you had as a child. Oh my goodness, Abe Lincoln. Thank you so much for the torch. I am as old as you are, Abe, and I don't even really know what a torch is or does. But I'm thankful you sent it. Thanks for lighting the way, Abe. We appreciate you, man. And like I said, stay away from those theaters. I would just do the streaming thing from now on. It's just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, Mr. President. Just streaming. Stay on the streaming thing. Okay. Anyways, what were we talking about? I completely forgot what I was talking about. I don't know what I was talking about. That's all right. This is my breakfast. I have to eat a lot of meat right now. Don't stop. No, pay attention. Pay attention. I will send you the principal's office right now. Pay attention. What were we talking about? I don't remember. I really don't remember. Here's a thought. We were talking earlier. Abe. We were talking earlier. Let's sit down. We were talking earlier about the new age of artists and how it's going to be different. How it is different. Like, all of the people that we consider quote unquote legends or pioneers of the art form, those people are passed or will pass within the next 10 to 15 years. So because of that, it is not only a requirement, but it is an active event that there is a new age, if you will, of... Oh, I can't even see. I can't even see your guys' chat anymore. Resident artist. Oh, King of Curses, 100 XP for joining the stream, man. Good to see you, bro. Oh yes, that's what I was thinking about. So, if we are in a new age of artists, and we're in an event where like a lot of the people who like used to pioneer or be considered the greats, they're either passing a pass or will pass within the next couple of years, or at least transition. Like the people who we think are like young in the next 10 years, some of them have already transitioned or they're transitioning. Like Seth Rogen isn't going to be doing another super bad movie. Seth Rogen is going to be writing and directing and producing because he's transitioned. He's getting older, right? But like to me as a kid, he's like 20, right? But no, this dude's like getting older, right? So there's a changing of the guard that's kind of happening. And even like YouTube, like back in the 90s and 80s and 70s, their YouTube was like talk shows and TV, all this stuff, and movies. Like that was their thing. Dude, why can't I see? There we go. There it is. Oh. We're talking about like, what are we talking about? I'm so ADD. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I'm getting old. Oh, we're talking about how basically we're in a place artistically speaking in the world where it's like there's like a new renaissance because of the technology, because of like where we are. Because of like how the world is. The stage of the world is kind of set for a artistic renaissance. In terms of, we had mentioned it earlier, that now the reason it's changing is because the illusion of celebrity has gone away. Like the illusion of celebrity has shifted. Now the more successful celebrity or artist in this new age will be the artist that can be 100% authentic no matter who's watching. Like you get the same person behind a closed door with no viewers and then the same person with like 20,000 people or 8 billion people watching. Right. That's kind of the goal. Cuz a lot of people like that feeling, okay, and I'm going to tell you something, that feeling of impending doom that we're all feeling, it is fair to feel fear about the world. But to be fair, it kind of goes in cycles because this same fear that you're feeling was also felt by people who grew up in 1975. Same thing with the people who grew up in 1945. Do you see what I'm saying? And 2005. Like there's every 30 years is kind of a new generation of like conscious adults that run the world. Because when you're born, the 70-year-olds in 30 years either die or turn 100, so they're not running anything anymore. Your 30-year-olds when you're born become 70, so they're getting ready to kind of end their life in a peaceful way. So every 30 years is a changing of the guard of powers, politically, artistically, comedically, film-wise. Everything changes almost every 30 years. So because of that, we're in that again, but in a way that is global. So like, there's ways where we feel it seasonally, there's ways where we feel it personally, there's ways where we feel it locally, there's ways where we feel it nationally, and then there's ways where we feel it internationally, and then there's ways where we feel it globally. So right now, almost literally globally, because we're so connected, we're going all of us through a time where the greats are passing. Some of the greats have passed, and the spark is being passed on to a new generation to continue the flame. And that feeling of impending doom is the changing of the guard. So there has to be those who are brave enough that are like, I got you. This is all weird and wacky, but so are we. And it's okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Don't shit your pants. And if you do, it's okay. We got toilet paper. It's 2026. You can shit your pants. Nobody has to know. You can just identify as a pants shitter. It's cool. We're kind of family here. It's all good, man. You can play Poppy Playtime next stream. It depends. I'll tell you what, buddy. I don't have the game. Depending on how much the game is, if you don't know right now the amount of that game, I'll play it next stream. I gotcha. That's a good deal. That's a good deal because I'm losing on the transfer from the donor. They take like 30% anyway, so that's really a good deal for you, Baba the Boopity. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to make a good deal for the business here. You want me to play a game, Sonny? You're gonna have to send the dono. But I'm willing to take the loss on the account that I'll entertain you. That pays me to entertain you. All right, what game is it? Poppy Playtime. I got you. Don't you worry, son. Don't you worry. We're gonna look this up right now. We don't have any unanswered questions here. So let's see. Cause listen, this is a business. This is an entertainment business, show business. You want me to do something? Okay, I'm the guy. I'm the producer and the writer here. I'll tell you whether or not we can do it. Poppy's Playtime. Let's see. Wait, what is it called? What is it called? Poppy Playtime. They do take 30%, yo. That's just that's how it is. Somebody's got to take something. Somebody's got to take something. All right. And that's why we started these memberships, bro. Like y'all got to realize I don't take everything home. Poppy's Playtime is actually the first chapter is actually free. I'll be honest with you, first chapter is free. However, chapter 2 through 5, actually 2 for some reason is available. 3, 4, and 5 are all $20. Or excuse me, 3 is 15, 4 is 20, and 5 is also 20. Just for the simple fact that I see that this is a scary game, I will require a minimum payment of at least. Oh, I'm sorry. They have a bundle. This is actually pretty good. They have a bundle. It's the Poppy Playtime bundle for $22.47. So if you Dead Cell Stream, actually, thank you for reminding me of that, actually, Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick is a member here, so he actually gets priority in reply to comments. So, dang, bro, Dead Cell's $25? Well, this looks great, though. Dang that. You need to tell me that joint was $25. I'm just kidding. This looks beautiful. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Okay, Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick, I need you to lock in with me. That game looks phenomenal. That game looks phenomenal. I need you to lock in with me, Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick. Pickle Nick, I'm going to need you to lock in. Here's the deal. I am absolutely 100% going to get that. But here's the reality. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not in my budget right now. I'm gonna have to wait till next payday to do that. However, if between now and then you send me some thumbnails on Discord. Once you get a thumbnail going for Dead Cells, all right, I'll give you some credits on this. And it can be as simple as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be fancy. We're gonna be simple, all right? I'll admit it. I was using AI for a little while because I was strapped. It's just me. But if some of you, out of the kindness of your hearts, like Pickle Nick here, are willing through the Discord to send me thumbnails in exchange for straight up exposure on a channel that has over 10,000 subscribers, I will put your thumbnail on my channel. That is how we will do it from now on. And that is how it's going to happen. That is how it's going to happen from now on. There will be no other way that we're doing this. I will allow you guys to do that. But Pickle Nick, because this is a game that you donoed for, I will allow the thumbnail to be made by you and only you. But I just want to let you know that it will probably be maybe I think my next. It might be a couple weeks. I might have to wait two paychecks from now, realistically, to do that. Because next payday will have to be for rent, because that's the last payday before rent. And we got to make sure. First rule is got to make sure that the roof is over their head and that there's food on the table for the fans. So after that is when I can do other expenses. But the more members that there are, the more that I can. Because every month I'm letting you guys know when I get anything, any penny from YouTube that I get, I put back into this channel, whether it's games, whether it's a new graphics card, whether it's a new SSD for the computer, whatever it is, I'm putting it back into this so that it's going back to you and making it better for you guys. But like I said, I'm gonna be realistic with you guys. I'm not gonna be dishonest with you guys. I'm just a regular dude. I got a full-time job. I'm not a millionaire, so I can't always like. And you might be like, damn, is this dude? Yes, I do have Jewish heritage, but I do have to kind of penny pinch sometimes. And buying this right now, I'll be so honest with you, I got about $7 in my bank account right now. I got about $7 in my bank account, but my next paycheck is right before rent, so I'll be saving that all for rent and for other stuff. So the paycheck after that, which is 2 weeks after that, that will be able to be used for some fun stuff. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Because I also got to do rent. I got to get the cosplay for PAX East. I got to get the yeah, that's actually I got to get the cosplay for PAX East, and I got to get a couple other things for PAX East, because this year at PAX, that's good. This year at PAX, we're gonna be going all out. We're gonna be doing the full Moon Knight cosplay. We're gonna be doing some videos and content while we're there. We're gonna be live streaming while we're there, doing IRL live streaming, and the full Moon Knight garb is in effect. So we're gonna be doing all that. Good luck. What's Tristan doing? Hope you make the team. What are you doing, Tristan? Off topic, are you trying out for your school basketball team this week? No, nothing's off topic, man. We can all. That's what this is for. This is an open hangout for the bros to talk about random shit. We hope you make that, man. For real. That's I'll tell you what, man. Whatever you try at, just do your best. Do your best, and if you don't make it, that's okay. Just keep trying. Just keep trying stuff, man. Just 100%. Just like iFramer actually just said, buckle in, give it your all. But just have fun, man. Just have fun. And get very good at whatever it is you do, and don't be ashamed to get good at it. Get very, very good at what you do. Get so good at what you do that you become a master of your craft. But we all wish you luck here in the lunar community. Moon Unk himself wishes you luck here in the lunar community. The lunar dawn himself. You come to my stream on the day of my daughter's wedding. No, but we really do wish you luck, man. Do your best. Be a master of your craft, dude. That's all that you can do. Yes, sir. Cheers, man. Thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate it. We chilling in here. We got the 16th President of the United States hanging out with us. We appreciate the Emancipation Proclamation. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate that. Hey, man, I try my best. Really what it is just shit I've learned from doing it wrong. I did it wrong for a lot. And this wisdom really has only come from other dead guys or other people more successful than me. It took me a long time to kind of actually become successful because I wasn't aware of the success that was already in front of me. I had to redefine what success was for me. A lot of times I thought success was a number of money. I thought success was, people liking me. And then once I redefined success to stability and peace and all these things,
I really started to live in my life. And what I mean by that is I started to be present. I stopped needing this like big moment to happen for me to be happy. I stopped waiting for that. And that's when I really became successful. When you stop waiting for this big thing to happen, you've made it. You've made it. I promise you. The second you're like you don't need anything to happen, like you could sit on a park bench on a Tuesday afternoon with no sandwich, no coffee, no friends, no, and you're like, this is great. Look at the sun today. Look at those trees over there. That is success. I promise you. You might think I'm crazy, but that actually is success. I promise you. And like just the joy. Once you give yourself the permission to fail, the joy of trying stuff starts flooding in. You just like try stuff, and it's like funny to fail. It's like instead of being afraid of failure, you just laugh at it. You're like, dude, remember that time I tried that business and it totally fucking failed? You just try stuff. You just try stuff. Hey. Venom Snake. Venom Snake. You're a real one. Thank you. I appreciate the love, sir. And I just want to recognize you because that's real love right there. I appreciate you. Hey, I'm talking. Stop fidgeting. Stop fidgeting. Why you fit? Stop laughing. I'm trying to give you a compliment. You're laughing. I'm being serious. I'm being serious right now. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you seriously. Thanks for joining today too. I don't know what time zone you're in. There's no way for me to know. There's no way for me to know what time zone you're in, but I do hope you're having a good day, night, whatever it is you're having. W Venom Steak. I appreciate the thing, but I will tell you I'm a little crazy though. I am just a little crazy though. Like don't go that far. Be like, oh, you're not crazy. Like This is my favorite superhero. It takes like one Google search and you'll be like, oh, okay, maybe he's a little, It's like not holding your ult in rivals for the big team wipe and just using it. Success comes from being knocked in your ass and just getting up. Abe Lincoln, not only did you write the Emancipation Proclamation, but you're actually here today in the modern times, joining my stream and dropping gems. We appreciate you taking the time for doing that. It's so true, man. That is so true. Because it's like, we give this like importance to like these big events. We're like, oh my God, like, and then we become nostalgic after it happens. And then we miss out on the beauty of every day. Like we wait for this big thing to happen, and then it happens, and then we spend the rest of our lives being like, remember when that thing happened? Remember when that thing happened? That was so cool, man. That thing was so cool back then. Like, oh, that's like the saddest way that you could ever live, dude. It's like, and that's why, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's why some successful people, kind of like, that's why that happens, because they fail to realize that success is not a singular, isolated event. I mean, if you make it to be, then you'll be very disappointed by that success. Hold on. Are you okay? Honey. Oh, you just sucking on video game? No. I love you, man. I had to check in on my wifey. Make sure she wasn't dying. She was just being beaten in a video game. She has to get good. You see what I mean? Look at that. Look, we got this audience member here. He's just like, what this is like? You know what this is like? This is like when a stand-up comedian does a bit, or they're doing a comedy show, and people are like, do that one bit. Do that one bit. Let me tell you something about that one bit. It was great. The bit worked. I roasted an entire community for what they chose as a character in a video game. It was brilliant. Other people did it. So many other people did it, but I did it the best. I did it the absolute best. Okay? And everyone else was like, based on what's your pick? I guess it wasn't funny. None of them were funny. They were all like sheltered kids from like Omaha. I did it the best. And now everybody's like, oh, what's your Marvel Rivals main says? You should do a part 3. Yes. One day when I want to sell out enough for some views, I will do a part 3. I really will. I want you to know that I am working on that. I am working on the script for part 3. But to me, it's comedically satisfying to wait on part 3. Because I don't want to just make part 3 because it's a popular thing to do. And it's like it's my best bit. You know, people love when I just kvetch about, you know, the everything. You know, it's a popular thing. But it's not, I'm not going to just, if I'm going to do part 3, I'm just letting you guys know it's gonna be better than part 1 and 2. It can't just be part 3 for the sake of part 3. If I'm roasting you for all of the new characters, I'm gonna spend at least like 6 months studying all these characters, these new characters, so I can kind of make a narrative in the video. Figure out what the narrative is out there, how people feel out there, what they're saying about these characters. I can't just, you know what I'm saying? This is a creative process, motherfuckers. Yeah. Join Moonkid TV Prime, figure a little bit about why we take time on our videos. But no, in all seriousness, I think it is like, you know, that can be an annoying part of the process. Like it's whatever. But hold on one second. Sorry, I'm my own music producer as well. You know, when you're the singular person on the production team, it does make things a little difficult. But it's not, you know, show must go on. The show must go on. I cannot silence myself at this time. I must be a one-man show. The producer, director, the actor, do it all. Do it all. Yes. But like I said, I recognize that my best bit has been What's Your Marvel Rivals Main and says about you. I recognize that it was a hit, a banger, a success. The sequel was also a banger, a success. And now, like a child waiting to be suckling on the teat of their mother, so too the community awaits the part 3. And there's no one else who's going to do it as funny as me. If they do, they'll do it funnier in their own lane, but not in the way that I'm doing it. So, you will have to wait for the breast to be ripe, but I promise you, my suckling teat children, you will see this breast once again. But not in the nipple form that you are hoping for. Yes, but rather in a far more sophisticated way will you be permitted to suckle upon the teat of comedy once again. Yes, but only after it has been steeped fervently in writers' rooms and cutting floors and editing post-production processes. Shall you see such a wonder of the world as a part 3. But trust me when I say it is coming. It is indeed. Don't worry, I'm not lying to you. It has made it to the pre-production process. That much is... Sometimes things don't even make it there. Sometimes things don't even get to the pre-production. Sometimes they just sit in the think tank and never come out. So as a writer, I can promise you it has made it out of the think tank and into pre-production, which means it is written down somewhere. Which means it has to happen at some point. I'm gonna do it when I'm like 80. I'm gonna do it when they got like 100 characters released in the game, do like a 10-hour video. No. I appreciate you guys. And I wouldn't be where I am today without the success of that video. I wouldn't be where I am today
without God letting you fools see that video and giving me the capacity and faculty to make and edit that one. That's one of my favorite videos to this day I've edited. It's good. It's good. But you know, one day we'll do something more than that. A lot more than that. And that won't be the only thing people are waiting for from me. A lot of you have been waiting for Marvel Rivals Detective, and I'm letting you know that is also in the works. But just like anything, we're not just gonna pump these out like a Twinkie factory. No! No Twinkies for you, good sir. We are putting things out that are going to be thought out, written, well-purposed, and polished. Especially when we're getting to a scale where it's like everybody watches YouTube. It just takes one pair of the right eyes to fall on a well-constructed project for it to take off. I know that, and every great artist knows that. So all I need to do is be dope. As dope as I know that I am. And speaking of dope, what's not so dope, well, actually, you know, it is kind of dope. I'll be honest with you. I like taking the shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just, it's a good experience. It's a good experience. Calm down. Be an adult. But the reality is I have to take a shit right now. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to take a commercial break. Not because I have to take a shit. But because the show must go on. It must go on. Whether I am shitting or not, this show must go on. So therefore, in this time, which may be undisclosed, 5, 10 minutes, who knows? The nature of man is complicated. In this time, I am going to turn it over to Kieran Bolton, producer, executive producer, UK representative, moonkid TV, and he will explain to you why you should join the memberships here on this channel, because as amazing as this live stream is, it will not be accessible to you if you are not a member on this channel. It will not. I don't know why I'm talking like this now. I just am, okay? Pay attention. I am now going to relieve myself in the form of shitting. So this will be a commercial break. Join moonkid TV today and you will have access to much more than just live streams, my friend. You will have access to the very sweat of my pores, my friend. You will see the dry skin on my eyes. All starting at 99 cents a month. I'll be back. Don't settle down, okay? Nobody make poop jokes, okay? This is a very normal thing. It's very normal for an adult to have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the show. It's not. Don't make a bit out of it. This isn't a bit. I really do have actual bowel movements that need to occur separately from the show. I'm not doing a bit where I walk off for the amount of time that it would take for me to take. This is a real thing that's happening in real life, okay? So don't make a joke out of this, okay? All right. But starting for 99 cents a month, you can be part of moonkid TV Access. If you really do got it like that, then you can be on moonkid TV Plus for $2.99 a month, have some access to exclusive shorts, videos. But then if you really got it like that, like my boy iFrame here, you could be a moonkid TV Prime member and be a part of writers' rooms where you actually see the process of us creating stuff that will probably be viral. And if not viral, 200 people can be like, that's cool shit. And that's cool, man. But there's a good chance it goes viral. A lot of what I do, like just by scratching my ass, goes viral. Like some of these meme shorts, I've done stuff that got like 30,000 views that I didn't even really, squint at. But that's really all. That's not like me. That's like creativity flowing through me. I'm not trying to be a dick here. I'm just trying to tell you that it's accomplishable. But you get to be a part of the writer's room at $6.99. And then if you really got it like that at $14.99, you get to be an executive. This is not an offer that's going to last for more than the first 3 people who join moonkid Studio. But the first 3 people, there's only 2 slots left that join moonkid Studio, will actually have executive producer credits on projects that we do this year. I'm just saying. So I'll be back, but until then, feel free to enjoy my extremely, extremely cool shelf right here. I'll be back. I forgot this. I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. I forgot y'all was still here. So, here's the idea. If you would like to be part of the Discord, make sure you click that link that our boy and executive producer Kieran just put down into the chat. All right. We're looking like we're staring at a pack of tiramisu Oreos, and you want to buy. Well, here's the thing. That's the dangerous part about being an adult that no one tells you about. Right? If you want to spend money on that, nobody could stop you. Literally no one. Not even me. Oh man, you know what? Hold on. All right. I forgot my pointer. I want to pay attention. Okay. The links do work in vertical streams. I'm looking at it right now.
It isn't. Well, I don't know if it's in this channel description, but what I can promise you is that if you go to my last gaming stream, there is a permanent link in that description. You know, that's people don't talk about that. That there is yeah. Yeah. Oh, nobody can click on it. That's strange. I put a setting where you could actually do that, but maybe it is just the vertical live streams. But every single gaming live stream has the permanent link to join the Discord. I could also have just put it on this one, but I didn't think about doing that. Because why would I do that? Why would I do anything that would, you know, make it convenient for you to be a part of this community? That would be terrible. You know, make it convenient. What do I think I am? We're gonna ditch this question. Nobody wants to accomplish anything this year. I'm just kidding. You guys definitely answered that like forever ago. Let's see. I want to know, because we were talking about artists. We were talking about the possibility of wanting to be an artist at the beginning of this. We were talking about what it would look like to accomplish that. And we talked about the first step in that being, all right, who's somebody that I want to be like in this kind of sphere of creativity? And that is a question that we're gonna get. So I would say, who is your biggest role model and why? All right, so this is the new question for the last little Q&A. I would like to know, who is your biggest role model and why? You better tell me why. Because if you don't tell me why, I'm going to tell you who mine is. And then I'm going to tell you why. And we're going to go on a 40-minute tangent that has nothing to do with what I originally wanted to talk about. So you better tell me. Because I'm interested, truly, to know who inspires you. Because who inspires you will often lead you down certain roads, both consciously and unconsciously. A lot of the people that I have looked up to in my childhood and teenage into adult years have been people who I would consider fearless, people who I would consider creatively dangerous, people who I would consider pioneers of their craft or engineers of a new level of their craft. People that I look up to are engineers and tamers of the real world around them, like my pops. That's definitely one of the first people I've really, truly in the real world looked up to and look up to. For King of Curses is also your pops. Hey, happy Sunday, Bior. We are going to be doing a little bit of Rivals gaming later, just as an update. I know some of you are a little scared. You're a little apprehensive. And you're like, oh my God, Moonkid's never going to play Marvel Rivals again. He's got memberships. He's sold out. Don't you worry, childs. We still play Marvel Rivals in this house, okay? We still play video games. All right, don't you worry. We just like to make space for the IRLs, because then I start playing games, stop doing IRLs, and you guys are like, oh my God, we never get to see the IRLs anymore, Moonkid. We haven't seen your beautiful face in so long. How do we possibly carry on without seeing this cutie patootie every day? And I'm like, what the heck? And then I start doing the IRLs. And then you guys are like, this guy has never played a video game a day in his life. He's never even touched a controller. He's never even tried to level up. And I'm like, what in tarnation is going on here? So I've decided this year we are going to do a combination of both. What kind of IRL? What kind of OMG? And what kind of TTYL? All our way into the gamer sphere, to the IRL, and everything in between, all right? Because here we are. IRL, it's me. I'm here. Pay attention. But then just in a couple of hours here, we are going to sit our asses down right here, okay? And we're going to be gaming. It might be Expedition 33. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna do rivals. Maybe after Expedition 33 though. Listen, this is my show, okay? All right, when you get a show, and you get a platform, you can fucking play rivals 24 hours a day, all right? All right? But I ever so maybe want to play some Expedition 33, because that game is... That game is gas. It's gas. Bro. Listen. Pay attention. I'm gonna go on a rant now. Now you guys are going to make me go on a rant. Expedition 33 is gas for multiple reasons. Gameplay. Gas. Graphics, pay attention. Gas. Storyline. You want to know how good the storyline in Expedition 33 is? I have no idea what's going on. And I've been playing it for like 2-hour spouts over the course of 4 months. And you want to know how invested I am in this story? Very. Okay? It is interesting to me. And I have no idea what's going on. That's how good these writers are. They've been telling me the story in 2-hour spurts over the course of 4 months. And I am invested. Listen to me. You're not paying attention. Okay, now I'll wait. I'll wait. This game is so good that there are sections of the game that have no combat, nothing going on. I'm just walking through, and it's gorgeous. It looks like a painting, okay? It's cinema. So do I want to play Rivals? Yes. Would I rather play Expedition 33 for like 7 hours straight? Yes. Both can exist on the channel, all right? It's that good. Here, okay. But let me get a little real. Let me get a real. I've been doing a lot of glazing, but let me get real with you. I had a lot of experience growing up with games like XCOM, which is a turn-based combat system. If you have never played a turn-based combat system, you will be very overloaded with information and strategy and options at first. Don't put it on the hardest difficulty. I do that. I'm insane. I put it on the hardest difficulty. Okay? Turn-based combat is something you got to be seasoned in to appreciate immediately, but give it time. Give it time. Give it like a couple of sessions. And then once you start getting good at it and you start understanding it, pay attention. That's when you really start flying, okay? Because this whole turn-based thing, man, let me just tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about turn-based. It is one of the best ways to do combat. Okay? Don't get me wrong. Arkham Knight, Spider-Man. We love a good button mash beat 'em up. I'm not saying no to that. You gotta understand. These things are not mutually exclusive. However, a good old-fashioned turn-based style combat game, my brother in Christ, it's cinema. And I'm gonna tell you why. You get to see the statistics of your attacks. You get to understand what's called the parry windows of your enemy, or the dodge windows if you're not cool like that and you don't parry everything. But I'm just saying, you get to kind of, it's almost like an artistic way to consume combat, turn-based. And in my opinion, turn-based combat is the best way to artistically consume the reality and the art style of combat and war, and that, at least in video games, and that is so cool to me. So if you're gonna pick up Expedition 33, just understand two things. Number one, if you haven't played turn-based style combat, it will take some getting used to, but number two, once you get used to it, you're going to love it. Like, there's no, once you understand the system, you just understand it, and it makes everything so cool, man. They make you feel like a badass doing like the coolest like random thing, you know. So, you know. But anyways, what were we even talking about? Oh yeah, I want to see some people answer this question. Who's your biggest role model and why? Because I like to know who people look up to, and who you look up to often will say a lot about where you're gonna go. You know, you look up to football players, you know, or someone like Tom Brady, you're probably gonna become very disciplined and you know, you look up to someone like Tom Brady, you're gonna wake up at 6 a.m. You might wake up at 4 a.m. and start working out, you know. You look up to someone like George Carlin, you might, on a Friday night, instead of going to a party, you might pick up a dictionary and circle all the words that you find funny, and then try to write jokes with them. If you look up to someone like Jordan Peele, you might start studying the psychology of frames and how to invoke fear through soundtrack and visual screenwrite. If you look up to someone like Mr. Beast, you may start studying click-through rate and average view duration, and how to get people to watch your videos. I'm an artist. I look up to people like Justin Vernon, you know, people like Eddie Murphy, people like Jimi Hendrix, people like Kid Cudi. These are people who inherently are kind of in their own lane. They entered into the lane, whether it was music or filmmaking or whatever, and then they kind of just did what they wanted in that lane without permission. They're willing to be ass for a while, or be considered ass, and then people look back and they're like, oh, this is genius. People like David Bowie, dude, like for so long he was made fun of. People were like, this guy's insane, this guy's a weirdo, but he's one of the most brilliant minds we've had artistically, arguably ever.
David Bowie's definitely a big one for me too. Let's see, movies definitely Tarantino. Oh my gosh. See, I enjoy Tarantino. There's this joke that I make where it's like whatever you're saying has an ing. I say that with Tarantino. So like if you're gaming, you're not just gaming, you're gaming Tarantino. Anyways, that's a staple in this channel. I just wanted to voice that. Alex Gray for freeform art aspects. I'll have to look that up. I'm not familiar with Alex Gray, but I'd be interested in that. For me, creatively with like writing, I have enjoyed the raw authenticity of Charles Bukowski often, just because that's someone that I think is like ugly to look at, but beautiful if you look long enough. And that I think that is a beautiful way to express art. And I've always thought that was kind of cool. The guy that wrote and illustrated Calvin and Hobbes, for some reason the name is escaping me right now, and I hate that it is. But that was a big inspiration for me. I think I was reading that at like, 7 years old, and I think that was a huge impact, I think, on my mind. Calvin and Hobbes was pretty esoteric in nature and very deep and thoughtful. So I think reading that definitely carved a pretty deep space in my frontal lobe to always have space for the deeper thought. Moon Knight. Who's Moon Knight? What is a Moon Knight? What is that? Yeah, that's a good name, dude. Oh my god, that's a good name. I have a friend that would die at that name. Like that would just absolutely kill for him. You show him that name and you'd be a friend to him for life. We love a good name like that. Hope you're having a good day, man. We're gonna be gaming pretty soon here, cause see, I did all that smack talk about Expedition 33, and now I want to frickin' play the game. So we might be doing that pretty soon. But to everybody who's joined today, like it's been a good afternoon, morning for me, just hanging with you guys and getting to know you guys. We're gonna do a little bit of gaming, and then when it gets kind of later, well, actually, here we'll probably. Here's what we're gonna do. Sorry, it's the coffees. They're getting to me. When we end this live stream, we're gonna take a small break. We're gonna take probably like 30-minute break, and then once we're done with that 30-minute break, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a studio writer's room. But in order to be part of the studio writer's room, you do have to be Prime or above as a member. This is because when you're Prime or above, this shows that you have a commitment to see what happens on this channel. So I want to give anybody who's Prime or above the opportunity to enter into the studio as a writer, as a collaborator, and to kind of see what's going on. So we're gonna wrap it up here. It's 2:00, so you guys know what that means. We're gonna wrap it up here, take a 30-minute break, and at 2:30 we are going to have the members only studio writers room live stream. This is gonna go on for probably about an hour, and then the live streams for the rest of the night are gonna be gaming. So just wanted to make it a disclaimer. If you are not a moonkid TV Prime member, you will not be able to join the live stream later. moonkid TV Prime and above are the members who are considered writers and collaborators on this channel. So therefore, moonkid TV Prime and above will be part of the writers room. It'll go on for an hour. We are going to end this live stream, and at 2:30 EST, we will start our writers room studio members only live stream.
I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. King of Curses, Irate, Frame Rates, Kieran Bolton, Moonfleck. Can't even say that name. Bior. Everybody who joined today, Hunter. We love you guys. We thank you guys so much for being part of this Lunar community. And to all of the new subscribers, everyone who joins today, welcome to the Lunar fam. All we ask is that you be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another, and that you have an amazing, spectacular, fantastic rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time zone you're in. It don't matter. It's a nighttime, you have a good night. It's a morning, you have a good morning. It doesn't matter. All right, come on. Enough. You have a good whatever you're in. Just have it. You know? It's okay, King of Curses, because here's the deal. For those who are not on moonkid Prime or moonkid Access or members, don't worry. We will actually be back with a gamer live stream. And what gamer means, gamer is everybody. Gamer is everybody's welcome. But the writer's room is something that you do have to pay. You gotta pay to be in the writer's room. Writer's room is kind of a members only thing. But that's okay. We will be back with some Expedition 33 and possibly some Marvel Rivals later. We might be doing some rival. I might pop out with a late night rival stream. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know me. I might pop on Rivals Marshall. You don't know. I might play Annihilation all night. We might climb up to Grandmaster. You don't know. We like to keep you on your toes. But for those who are part of the memberships, we are going to start in 30 minutes with a members-only writing room. I want you guys, everybody, whether you're a member or not, to have a fantastic, spectacular rest of your day. Be kind to yourselves. Be excellent to one another. And remember, Excelsior, gamers. Onward and upward. See you soon. Peace out, gamers.